highly recommend watching is if you haven't watched these next two shows I'm about to name, where have you been? Don't take what I said seriously. Hey you guys, it's your girl Zamaya and I'm back at it again with another YouTube video. This is the third time, by the way, of me trying to film my intro because my family is loud. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys plenty of suggestions on what to watch during this whole quarantine thing, because I know we've all been doing the same type of stuff every single day. So if you have Netflix, Hulu, or even Amazon Prime, or if you want to like go to them little Chinese and Russian websites and like, you know, take it off there, which is perfectly fine, by the way, but these are just some suggestions of shows and movies to watch while we were on this little time that we have. So let's just go ahead and get right into the video. Okay, so the first thing I have is to watch the Madam C.J. Walk Netflix little like short series. I know it says it's a limited series, but it's been on there for like a couple of months now, I think. So it's probably not off right now. I didn't check today. I would suggest this if you're especially thinking about going into the business field, or if you want to be an entrepreneur, or if you already are an entrepreneur. It's definitely inspiring because it kind of takes you through the whole story with people that we know from this day and age. It is like very inspiring, and I definitely suggest that you watch that. It's only 4 episodes long, but each episode is like an hour, I think, or 45 minutes at the least. So make sure you guys go watch that one. The next show is extremely popular right now, and it's Outer Banks, but it's in this town called like literally the Outer Banks, and it's basically about like these 4 teenagers, and one of the teenagers' dad has been missing for a couple of months, I think 9 months when it first started, and he doesn't have his mom, so they're kind of like living and then trying to figure out where his dad went and stuff. And it's like cool because basically the town is like divided into like the rich side and the poor side, and I kind of like how on the poor side they showed that it was white and black people. It didn't really show that it was like black people on the poor side and white people on the rich side, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like a cool way to see that, and they kind of like both kind of, I don't want to say battle against each other, but they both sides don't really like each other like that, because you know, I'm rich, you're poor. So yeah, make sure you definitely go watch that. It's kind of like a drama mystery type thing, but it's definitely cool. The next show that we have for Netflix is Love is Blind. If you have not watched Love is Blind yet, make sure that you definitely do. It's like a scientific experiment almost. So it's like they have a group of people, and they have men on one side, women on the other side of the house, and then they like come meet in the middle to like date in these pods, but they don't actually see each other. So it's kind of like they're just like dating, just, you know, going off talking, and them talking about their life and stuff like that. It's really kind of beautiful in a sense, but it's really cool because some drama kind of came from it a little bit, but it's definitely pretty cool to like see how people fall in love without even seeing each other. Okay, so the next show that I highly recommend watching is Greenleaf. If you have not watched Greenleaf comes on OWN originally, but they have all the seasons updated on Netflix right now. But yeah, they have all the seasons updated on Netflix right now, so they have about 4 seasons if I'm not mistaken, and I think the 5th season is about to come back in June. So yeah, and it's really kind of sad because I just started watching that show, and I was like, okay, I'm getting with the show, and then all of a sudden the final season is coming up, like. But it's definitely a good watch though, so still go watch it even though it's about to end with the last season. But that's definitely a good show. I didn't even tell y'all what it was about. So basically it's about like this family, this black family, and they have like one of those mega churches, and it's like based in Tennessee. Yeah, so basically it's kind of like about the drama about running a church and stuff, and all the family drama and scandals and stuff like that. It's really actually really good, and I like kind of like how they have the adult drama, and then they have the teenage drama with like with the teenage girl cousins and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a good balance, and it'll definitely keep you interested. If you haven't watched these next 2 shows I'm about to name, where have you been? Okay, so the first show is On My Block. If you have not watched On My Block yet, if you're like teetering, tottering, like, I don't know if I should watch it, this is your sign. Go watch On My Block. And if you haven't watched All American yet, this is your sign. Go watch All American. On My Block is about this group of teenage friends, and it kind of just goes through their friendship and kind of like gang violence, and it's really funny actually. Like a lot of the stuff they talk about is personal, but it's like really funny. I would like to say that All American is kind of the same. It's not funny, but it's more of drama, but it's still good, you know. So it's basically about like these teenagers in high school, and it's kind of based around this boy named Spencer and his family, and you know, just him trying to do good in football, trying to get scholarships and stuff like that. And then they got all this stuff going on the side with drama, relationships, him finding out who his dad is and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely a good watch. Both of those are great watches, even though I didn't like how On My Block ended. I mean, who did? But and All American is coming back next January. There's a movie on Netflix. It's called Coffee and Kareem. It is really really funny. I don't know like the two boy main characters, but I know Taraji P. Henson is like the mom of this boy, and she has like a cop boyfriend, and the cop is white, and it's kind of like vulgar. The movie, not like nasty vulgar, but it's kind of pushing it, the fact that they have little kids in it, you know. But it's really funny though. It's like basically the kid and the cop kind of go on this adventure because like the cop, you know, wants to bond with him, like that's his son or whatever. And like, yeah, if you haven't watched Insatiable yet with Debbie Ryan in it, it's a Netflix original show. It has about 2 seasons, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and it's basically about this girl who was fat, but she turns into like this beauty pageant. I don't want to say was fat, but she was big. She was big, like, and then she, you know, got herself right, and then she turned into this beauty pageant like contestant, like winner, like this beauty pageant queen. And like she just goes around the South kind of like winning pageants. It's like a whole bunch of drama and stuff with it too, and it's also like a funny show. So yeah, if you have not watched Dear White People, bro, Dear White People is such a great show. But a lot of people I know have slept on Dear White People, and it's like, how? Well, I feel like a lot of people don't even watch the first episode, but it's like really cool. It's kind of like a drama, kind of not. It's like each episode is through the eyes of somebody different, and it basically follows like this group of Black African American students that go to this Ivy League school. And so yeah, they're kind of like talking about themselves as a minority basically in the school, but it's not really based around the whole racism thing. If you have not watched Stranger Things yet, after like 3 years of it being on social media and like all over the place, I mean, even if sci-fi isn't your thing, like sci-fi isn't my thing per se, but it's like, it's not even all that. Like, it's just really cool. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and explain what it is because you should know what Stranger Things is about. But yeah, and that's also about to come back in July, I think, so get on it before the new season comes. The last show for Netflix is called Never Have I Ever. They just came out with this show. It's basically about this, I'm gonna say Middle Eastern because I don't want to call her Indian because I forgot what she was. Jesus. It's about this Middle Eastern girl and her family. They moved to the US, and they've been there for a couple of years though, you know. But her dad just recently passed, and it's kind of like a comedy show kind of, and it's like she's a teenager, she's in high school, and she's kind of like trying to become like cool or popular with her group of friends, and like it's just kind of like showing the ups and downs of like an awkward teen in high school in this day and age. So yeah, definitely go watch that one. Okay, so for Disney Plus, literally everything on Disney Plus is a bop. Like, I really cannot give you a list, like it would be too much. Basically, what I would say is go back and watch all the old Disney Channel shows. That's So Raven, Hannah Montana, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Wizards of Waverly Place. Wizards of Waverly Place is actually pretty good once I went back and watched it. Like, it was good when it was first on, but I went back and I was like, this is low-key kind of better than Hannah Montana. Like, Hannah Montana was really cheesy and I never noticed it at the time. But yeah, a lot of those shows, when you go back and watch them, like Austin and Ally, I'm not gonna say I used to hate Austin and Ally, but I didn't really like it when it, you know, like when it came on, I would have changed the channel. But going back and watching it, it was pretty okay actually. Yeah, make sure you guys go do that. I'm in the middle of watching Phineas and Ferb right now, so moving on to Hulu. Right now, I'm also in the middle of watching America's Next Top Model. I'm on cycle 5, I think. I think I'm on cycle 5 or 6. So make sure that you guys go watch that. I know America's Next Top Model is kind of problematic, but it's still entertaining at the end of the day, so I'm just gonna watch it. They also have all the seasons of Catfish on there, so if you like Catfish, honestly, I wouldn't recommend Catfish. Like, I wouldn't recommend watching episode after episode after episode. Like, I wouldn't recommend binging Catfish, because I don't feel like that's just a thing that people do, because Catfish is so repetitive because you already know what's gonna happen every single episode, you know? If you don't know, Childish Gambino had a show on FX called Atlanta, and it's basically about him kind of starting off like in a rough patch, kind of, and he's like trying to make it big. He's trying to, like, you know, at least get money to live. So he's like managing his cousin who's starting to like blow up in the rap game. Oh my, he's kind of like managing his cousin who's starting to blow up in the rap game or whatever. So yeah, basically go watch that. Speaking of the rap game, they also have the rap game on there. I know a lot of people kind of zoned out after like season 1, but really going back and being able to just kind of watch it all the way through without having to wait another week for another episode is actually pretty good. So Blackish and Grownish, if you haven't watched those shows, they're normally on ABC. It's basically about this black family, you know, and they live in a white neighborhood, but you know, it's like one of those comedy shows. So yeah, you definitely need to watch that one. And Grownish basically takes the daughter Zoe, aka Yara Shahidi. It kind of follows her and her university life. So yeah, that one's kind of more interesting to like teenage viewers, but Blackish is also pretty good once you watch it as well. So if you're looking for something really funny to watch, you should definitely watch the Boondocks. I know they took it off Netflix, but they have, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they still have all the seasons of the Boondocks on Hulu. So definitely go watch that. The Boondocks is so funny. It's like these two kids and they live with their grandpa, and it's kind of like, it's a cartoon if you don't know what the Boondocks is. So and so the last suggestion that I have for you guys is a movie on Amazon Prime. It's called Sailor in the Spades. Kind of going back to Greenleaf, which was a show I stated earlier. It has the darker skinned cousin off of there. It's basically surrounding like this rich boarding school, and like all the kids are like into these like different little gangs, I guess is what it was trying to be. And basically Sailor is like the main girl, and she's like Sailor, it's really Sella, but still, but she was like the head of one of the gangs called the Spades. And so basically they like kind of handle all the drugs that's like passed through school. Like, you know kids be selling drugs nowadays, you know. Don't take what I said seriously. It's really interesting because it's like she's trying to be Miss Perfect, and it's not like your average snotty black girl or like a poor black girl, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's like really interesting, and she's a really interesting character, and also like the other characters that they have in there. And I think they have Jesse Williams in there as well as the principal. So yeah, make sure that you watch that. Alright you guys, so we reached the end of this video. If any of these suggestions popped out to you and you're about to go watch them, make sure you tell me what show that you're about to go watch down in the comment section below. And make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with some friends, because we're all on quarantine. So give it to your friends so they can get some suggestions from this. So share it with your friends to give them some suggestions on what to watch as well. But I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.